guys, I'm back again with another tutorial. This time I'll be showing you how to create this paper flower if you already have the templates. These are the templates I'll be using. There are 5 different sizes and you will need to cut out 6 petals of each size. Your templates will probably be different from mine, but as a reference, these are the heights of each of my petals. So I like to start by tracing the largest petal first, and then I find a smaller petal that fits right beside it. This helps me save paper. For the last petal, in this case it's the smallest one for me, I just trace that same petal 3 times on the piece of paper, and I'll just be putting 1 sheet behind it and cut a total of 6 petals. Since I already traced 3 petals of the smallest one, I'm done with that one. Now I'll need to trace the other 4 petals one more time. So at the end, I'll have drawn 2 petals of each size except for the smallest one, which I traced 3 petals. You can now start cutting out your petals. I first started by cutting out the smallest petal, which is the one I drew 3 petals of. So just grab 1 more sheet of paper and put it behind that and cut it out. You should end up with a total of 6 petals. Remember to recycle the scraps you think you could use for another project. For the rest of the petals, grab 2 more sheets of paper and put it behind the one you drew the petals on. So you'll be cutting out a total of 3 sheets of paper at the same time. You should end up with 6 petals of each size for a total of 30 petals. To shape the petals, I either use a bone folder or a ruler. It just depends, whatever you get more comfortable with. When I first started making flowers, I used a ruler because I didn't have a bone folder. For me, I feel like it's easier to use the bone folder when it's small petals, and for the larger petals, I think I'm more comfortable using the ruler. To shape the petals, you'll start by folding the right side of the petal towards the bottom, and then flip the petal and fold that side towards the bottom too, and you'll end up with the right side of the petal facing down and the left side of the petal facing up. You'll continue doing this process with the rest of the petals. This is another technique I use to fold the petals. I just hold the bone folder or the ruler in place and slide the paper away from me and up. So make sure you're folding the right side of the paper down, because as you could see with this petal I folded it opposite. But it's okay, you could fix it. Just fold the opposite way and the paper will shape itself. Okay, so now finish the rest of your petals. Try out different things, try out different techniques of folding and see what you find more comfortable for you. I've seen other people that use a glue stick, a pencil, or something spherical shaped just to wrap the paper around. And it does work, but in my opinion, I don't like it because I feel like it leaves too many creases on the paper. We're almost halfway, guys, so now your petals should end up looking like this. Grab all 6 petals of the same size and you'll be cutting a line in the middle up to about halfway up. this is how they should look. Now you'll begin to glue both sides together. Just put glue on the bottom half. Finally, the petals are done. Now you will need to draw a circle. I already have a template of a circle, so I'll just be tracing it. Finally, it's time to start putting the petals together. You'll start by putting a line of glue on the bottom of the petal. Glue the petals on the circle. Leave about 1/2 inch to 1 inch of space between the edges of the circle and where you glue the petals. Glue the petals next to each other around the circle without overlapping one petal with the other. Now when you start gluing your second largest petals, make sure you place them in between the two larger petals. Make sure when you set the last petal to put it behind the first petal you glued. And there you go. All we need is the flower center. Grab a sheet of paper and fold it in half horizontally and cut it. Now grab one side, fold that in half, and grab the other side and fold it in half too. You could either use regular scissors or shear scissors. You'll be cutting strips on the crease side of the paper. You can make them as thin or as thick as you like, but make sure you leave at least 1/2 inch from the edge. So with the shear scissors, I always have trouble cutting all the way through. So I think I feel more comfortable using regular scissors, but this is how it looks. This is how they should look. Now unfold the sheets of paper, lay it on the desk like this, and put glue on one side of the sheet and glue it together. Put glue on the edge and start rolling the paper. Make sure you make it as tight as possible. And then put glue at the end to secure it together. This is how it should look. Now grab the other strip and put glue on it and continue wrapping around the other one. The flower center is done. Now go ahead and glue it to the flower.